The wind bites hard, snow swirls around you, a white blur against the gray sky. Every breath you take feels like swallowing ice. You've been out here longer than you planned, and the chill has settled deep into your bones, a heavy, unwelcome guest. You feel tired, so very tired. All you want to do is sit down for just a moment, but in the wild, that single moment can be your last. The cold is a silent predator, and it's hunting you right now. Do you have what it takes to fight back and make it home? Your survival depends on your next move. This relentless enemy has a name, hypothermia. Put simply, hypothermia is when your body loses heat faster than it can make it, causing your core temperature to drop to a dangerously low level. It doesn't need to be freezing outside for this to happen. Rain, wind, being wet. This condition sneaks up on you. It makes you weak. It clouds your judgment, telling you that everything is fine when you are actually in grave danger. Understanding this threat is the first step in defeating it. The signs are subtle at first, but you must learn to recognize them in yourself and in others. The first warning is shivering. It's your body's natural alarm, a desperate attempt to generate warmth, but as the cold takes a firmer grip, the shivering might stop. That's a very bad sign. The person may start to mumble or speak slowly. They might seem confused. They might seem clumsy, stumbling as they walk. Their skin will look pale and feel cold to the touch. This isn't just being chilly, this is your body starting to shut down. You have to act fast. The moment you spot these signs, the clock is ticking. Your mind is your most important tool, but hypothermia attacks your ability to think clearly. It will whisper sweet lies, telling you to rest, telling you to close your eyes. You must ignore that voice. You must force yourself to take action. Your absolute first priority is to get out of the elements. The wind and wet are your biggest enemies now. They strip away your precious body heat with brutal efficiency. Find or build a shelter immediately. Look for a natural shield. Rock, overhang, dense thicket of trees, deep pile of snow to dig a snow cave. Anything to break the wind. If you have a tarp or an emergency blanket, use it to make a roof. This simple act can make all the difference. Once out of the wind, get dry. Wet clothing is a death sentence. It pulls heat away 25 times faster than air. Remove every wet layer, down to the skin. It feels counterintuitive, but it's critical. If you have dry clothes, even a single spare pair of socks, put them on now. If not, wring out wet clothes and put them back on. Body heat will slowly dry them if sheltered. Layering is key. Multiple thin layers beat one thick layer. Air between layers insulates, like a thermos. Put on extra clothes if you have them. Protect your head, your hands, your feet. A hat is essential. No hat? Wrap a spare t-shirt or any dry cloth around your head. Tuck hands into armpits or pockets. Get your feet off the cold ground. Sit on your backpack a pile of dry leaves or a log. Now generate heat. Gentle movement helps. Walk in place or do slow arm circles. Sweat makes you wet and undoes everything. If you're with someone, huddle together. Sharing body heat works. Get close, skin to skin if possible, then wrap yourselves in a blanket or a sleeping bag. Make a warm drink or eat high-energy food, chocolate or nuts. Calories are fuel for your internal furnace. In a survival situation, a clear head saves lives. Your brain can get foggy when you're cold, so let's run a quick mental drill. This isn't a test you can fail. It's a tool to force you to think clearly and take immediate life-saving action. Ask yourself these questions right now and answer them with a simple yes or no. Be honest. Your life could depend on it. This is about assessing your situation and making a plan. Don't just think the answers. Say them out loud. First question. Are you or anyone in your group shivering uncontrollably, or have they stopped shivering completely? This is the most obvious sign that the body's core temperature is dropping to a critical level. A yes here means the situation is already serious. You need to stop everything else you are doing and focus entirely on getting this person warm. This is your number one priority. Ignoring this sign is not an option. A strong, shivering response is better than no shivering at all, but both are urgent calls to action. Second question. Is your clothing wet, even just a little damp from sweat or snow? Remember how quickly moisture steals your heat. Feel your base layers, feel your socks, feel the collar of your shirt. Any dampness is a red flag. A yes means you must immediately begin the process of getting dry. Find shelter, remove the wet layers, do whatever it takes to reduce that moisture. This is a non-negotiable step. Your body simply cannot win that fight for long. Third question, are you protected from the wind and insulated from the cold ground? Look around you. Is the wind hitting you directly? Are you sitting on bare rock or snow? If the answer is no to being protected, you must move. Even a small change in position, like moving to the other side of a large boulder, can make a huge difference. If you are sitting on the ground, find something, anything, to put underneath you. Your backpack, a foam pad, pine boughs, a coiled rope. Creating that barrier is a simple but powerful survival tactic. Survival is about making the right choices, even when every part of you wants to give up and surrender to the cold. You can fight back against the cold, and you can win. You have what it takes. There comes a point where your best efforts might not be enough. You need to know when to call for help. If the person's condition is getting worse despite your efforts, if their confusion increases, their speech becomes incoherent, or they lose consciousness, it is a grave emergency. This is the moment to activate your personal locator beacon or use your phone to call emergency services. Give them your exact location and a clear description of the situation. Stay on the line if you can. Professional help is their best and only chance at this stage. While you wait for help to arrive, there are critical things you must not do. Never give a person with hypothermia alcohol. It might make them feel warm for a moment, but it actually causes the body to lose heat even faster. Do not rub their arms and legs vigorously, or try to warm them too quickly, for instance, by placing them in a hot bath. This can cause cold blood from the limbs to rush to the heart, which can be fatal. Gentle, steady warming is the only safe method. Also, never rub frostbitten skin. You will only cause more tissue damage. The key to surviving the cold is preparation and quick, decisive action. Don't wait until you're in trouble to think about what to do. Before any trip into the outdoors, no matter how short, you should have a plan and the right gear. The wild doesn't forgive carelessness. It demands respect. By staying calm, thinking clearly, and following these fundamental survival principles, you can turn a potentially deadly situation into a story of survival. You can fight back against the cold, and you can win. You have what it takes. Your cold survival checklist. Remember this checklist. It's your path back to safety. Now, go and be prepared.